Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? This is your boy Isaac,
And this is your boy Bryce.
and we are brothers on tennis. And folks, we are well into the month of February. There's a lot of tennis that has been going on. And guess what, people? I got my partner back, Bryce. What up, dog?
What up, man?
Brother, why don't you go ahead and let the folk know how your February has been going?
Oh, man. Well, I've been feeling like an old man for a while now, and now I
come
guess
on.
I officially have the age to go with it. Uh, but yeah, I missed you guys. But Isaac, we were over there in Maui, and it was just a few of us, and we did a few things and hung out and celebrated crossing that milestone number. So. It was a good time. It was a relaxing time, but I was ready to get back and talk some tennis.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Excited to come back and talk about tennis. Come on, folks. That's what I'm talking about. Well, Bryce, let me tell you, man.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
And I just want, I want to shout out one particular person.
Yeah.
I want to shout out Coach Jason Purcell over there in Maui.
Nice.
Thank you very much for the birthday baseball cap from the Australian Open. Really, really appreciated that. So I will be sporting my Australian Open baseball cap for the next couple of months around here.
That is awesome, my friend. That is awesome. Yeah, man. Well, I tell you what, it is so good to have you back because even though, I can talk and everything, I don't too much like talking to myself. So it's much, much better when I can talk to somebody else about this game of tennis. So welcome back, my brother.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
Yeah. So, Bryce, what you been doing on the tennis front, man?
Well, I have been watching these ladies, and I want to talk for just a few minutes about the Dubai Open last week because there were some you know what? I want to talk about some trends that are happening in women's tennis right now.
Okay.
And one of the things, and I'm going to just kind of go down the draw as I'm looking at it, and I'm not looking necessarily at who won. I'm just looking at some basic results, and I feel like I'm seeing some trends in a couple of places. Now, the first person I want to mention is the young lady from Tunisia, Jabeur.
Yep.
Let me tell you what, although she ended up losing to Halep, and she lost in a third set tiebreaker, we're starting to see consistent results from this lady.
That's right.
And I really like her game, and I think she is going to be somebody the tour is going to have to deal with this year.
I completely agree. Completely. Yeah. She's got strong game. She's got a variety in her game, which is really nice to see.
It is. And you know what? She kind of reminds me a little bit of an awkward Barty.
I like that. An awkward Barty. Yeah.
She does. But she's fun to watch. And so she's one person I wanted to spotlight. There was a first round match last week between Svitolina and Jennifer Brady. And to me, this was the meeting of two players that are going in the opposite direction.
That's right.
I don't know what's going on with Svitolina because her boyfriend is clowning.
Straight clowning.
On the men's tour. I mean, Monfils is really doing his thing. But Svitolina has been taking shots to the dome left and right this last month. I don't know what's going on with her.
I love how you said that, taking shots to the dome, because she has.
I mean, she really, really has. But in contrast to that, Jennifer Brady, who woke up? Because
I know, right?
She has been having some really good results, and I mean, she made it all the way to the semifinals.
That's right.
Of this tournament. And nobody had her on their draw sheet to make it to the semifinals, so she's doing really well. I also want to mention, a lot like Svitolina, I don't know what's going on with Belinda Bencic.
Yep.
I mean, she's taken losses here. She's taken a few shots to the dome um, in matches that I would have ordinarily thought she would have breezed in.
I agree with you. Yeah, that match against Pavlyuchenkova, which Pavlyuchenkova has been playing some good tennis of late. So that's, that good on her, but still, it's so lopsided though for her to give her a breadstick and then take two breadsticks.
Right.
There's just something wrong with that score line. I'm sorry. That's not good.
Definitely. And here we go. I have another meeting of two players going in opposite directions. A little bit, maybe not as drastic as Svitolina and Brady, but Sofia Kenin and Rybakina.
Right.
And Kenin, now look, honestly, she's not doing that bad, but I expected her to do the same thing that most first-time Grand Slam champions do. She's losing a few matches now. No real reason for alarm, but she definitely is probably feeling the effects right now of winning that tournament.
Right.
And but I have faith that she's going to bounce back.
Oh, yeah.
Rybakina?
Yep.
She's about to make my squad. I'm telling you, she is doing the damn thing. If y'all have not been checking out Elena Rybakina, and I know it looks like Rybakina, but I'm trying to pronounce these names right. She is clowning right now.
She is. I mean, she has had a really great year, Bryce. She's been putting it on some folks. And I mean, she got a big game. She's a big girl. I don't know her stats, but she looks like she's kind of tall. She looks like she might be 6 feet. But big old game. She got a real nice looking game, and she's very even keel. I like her demeanor. It's very contained, and I like Rybakina a lot, dude. Like you said, she's gonna make the squad. She's gonna make the squad.
And when I see her, she reminds me of an ever so slightly more polished version of Anna Samova.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, and Anna Samova, I still think is kind of coming to her own, but I agree with you. I think that those two have very similar games and similar styles, and I honestly believe that they both will follow very similar paths as well. Anna Samova, of course, as we know, is still dealing with, the loss. But I think once she's able to kind of get herself back on solid ground, I think you're going to see more of her as well. But I won't take the shine away from Rybakina. She is doing the thing.
She really is.
Yes,
and then I can't end this segment without talking about the return of Miss Kim Clijsters.
Yes, sir.
And I just want to break it down for all of you listeners right now, in case you just happened to have seen the score and didn't really watch the match. Now, she met Garbiñe Muguruza in the first round, which was a very unfortunate draw for her, with Muguruza just coming off of an Australian Open finals. But I'm telling you what, if you looked at the score and you said 6-2, 7-6, that was expected, and obviously Kim is not ready yet. I'm telling you, if you watched that match, I was blown away by how good Kim Clijsters looked. Now, granted, the first set she was trying to find her zone. Second set was classic Kim Clijsters, and I don't even know why I'm saying classic because I don't know where that forehand came from. I don't remember Kim Clijsters' forehand being that live when she was on the tour. Now, granted, I want to keep things, all expectations realistic. Kim, she still looks like she needs to get into a little better shape. Her movement, although was really good for not having played in 7.5 years,
Right.
It's of course not where it was when she was, playing before. But Muguruza said it in the post-match interview. She's going to give a lot of players some problems.
Yep.
I mean, like,
absolutely.
Right now. I'm not even talking about like what Kim looks like 6 to 8 months from now. Right now, she probably, and I'm not trying to, exaggerate or anything, but when I look at that draw, if she had not met Muguruza, she could have easily beaten at least 50 to 60% of the other people in that tournament in the first round.
Definitely agree. Definitely agree. Like I said, Kim looked good. I like the fact, like you said, she was hitting out on that forehand. I like the fact that her movement actually was really nice. She did the Kim Kleister slide on the hard court. I
Yeah.
mean, so those are all extremely positive things as it relates to her coming back on the WTA scene. I mean, I really feel like she's going to do some damage. She's going to mess some folk up.
She really is.
Yes,
So,
sir.
so I just wanted to kind of make mention of those kind of trends that I'm seeing with certain players right now, and just for us to kind of keep our eyes on that as we continue through the tennis season. But as it
Absolutely.
related to the actual Dubai Open, it was an unexpected set of semifinals. I think we expected Halep to be there. We didn't expect for Jen Brady to be there,
No.
and Halep let her know that she shouldn't have been there when she gave her that whole biscuit and that bagel in the semifinals. Uh,
But I'm going to give Jenna just a little bit of a reprieve because she was coming off of a couple three-set, like really tough matches. So I'm hoping that it was just the fact that she was a little bit tired and it wasn't the fact that Halep just skull cracked her. You know what I'm saying? But she did do her pretty bad, though. She did it dirty. She did it
all,
bad.
all I'm gonna say is Halep came off of 2 3 setters herself.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, I didn't even notice that. That's true. That's true.
But that's okay. But for Jen Brady, she'll take a semifinal result at Dubai each year if she could.
Heck yeah.
And then in the bottom half of the draw, because Belinda Bencic lost in the first round, uh, we had Petra Martic in the semifinals against Rybakina, and I,
Mm-hmm.
even though it was a close match, I think it was 2 tiebreakers.
Yeah.
Um, Rybakina has been the hot player on the tour, so I fully expected her to win that. And in the
Mm-hmm.
finals, she damn near won against Halep.
Oh, let's be clear. She could have very easily won that match. She, I believe, had match points if I'm not mistaken. So it was a very very close one, or maybe she did. Maybe it was 6-5 when in Halep. I can't quite remember, but yeah, it was really close, bro. And there was a lot of tense moments in that tiebreaker. But no, I think Rebecca, she represented herself, even though she didn't get to raise the trophy. She has to be very happy and proud of what she put out in regards to this tournament. She did a thing.
She really did, and congratulations to Halep. You
Yeah, for
know,
sure.
we know that she is a contender in every tournament she enters, and so
Absolutely.
she was the number one seed, and she went to Dubai and she handled business.
That's right. That's what you got to do.
So let's move into the ladies tournaments for this week, and we're gonna start. Excuse me. We're gonna start with the tournament that is in Mexico, and I
Yep.
think they're in Acapulco. And
Yes.
normally, I don't know if we would really talk about this tournament or not. It may be a little bit on the smaller side for us,
Yeah.
but Brothers on Tennis is going to talk about this tournament because the number one seed is Sloane Stevens, and a very special wild card is in the draw as well by the name of Miss Venus Williams.
Venus. Yeah, man. So happy to see Venus back out on the court. I'm hoping that she's feeling 100%, based on, just the play of late. I don't know if she was 100% when she was in the Australian, but hopefully she's able to do a little bit of damage in this tournament, bro.
Well, and I don't know how many listeners pay attention to this, but Venus actually has a YouTube series. And if you get an opportunity, you should go out there and watch it because, unlike Serena's show on HBO, Being Serena, which was kind of very serious, uh,
Mm-hmm.
Venus has kind of taken the very lighthearted route with her show. And it's very insightful, very informative. And I picked up a couple of things watching a couple of episodes. And one of those things was that, and now don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to take anything away from Coco Gauff
Mm-hmm.
winning that first round match against Venus, but having watched her series, it is completely clear to me now that Venus was not fully healthy at the Australian Open. And it makes a lot of sense to me because the issue she had was with her knee. So if you watch the match, and I think we even commented on this, her serve looked good, her ground strokes looked good, but her movement was not there. And now it really makes sense to me now that I see that it was her. She had stopped actually practicing on the court and didn't resume until she actually got to Australia.
Oh, wow. Didn't know that.
Yeah, so it seems like she's feeling a lot better now. So I'm really going to look at what she does here at this tournament because, once again, no disrespect to the other women that are in this tournament, but this is a buster draw. And
yes, it is.
If ever Venus wanted to get another title under her belt, it would be this week because even with the number one seed, until Sloane Stephens getting married, ain't nobody scared of her. Nobody scared of Sloane Stephens.
There you have it. And they could possibly meet in the quarters, folks. So
they could.
Yeah, they could, but you just never know. I'm seeing some real interesting names that I've never seen before, and you just never know what of them might slide up on.
and we haven't really seen any results come through yet, except for one. We had Miss, and this is Brothers on Tennis, so we're kind of supporting our people. So, Heather Watson, we appreciate that victory you got today over Coco Vanderway.
Go on, get her, Heather. Get her.
And for those of you that listened to previous episodes, you know what we're talking about.
You know exactly why. Because somebody act like we invisible and can't talk to nobody. Ain't no good gonna come to you. Ain't no good gonna come to you. Just saying.
So thank you, Heather Watson, for holding that victory up for us.
Yes, sir.
But when I looked at this draw overall, Isaac, I thought, I hope Isaac does not ask for my predictions in terms of semifinals or whatever, because I'm not making any predictions for this tournament. Every last person in this draw can win this tournament. It is that buster.
It's busted, folks. It really is. It's buster draw.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, Lauren Davis may win it, or Sarah Ronnie may make her big return to lifting a singles title. I can't call it.
You can't call it, man.
I can't call it.
Hibino.
Yeah,
she was trying to show out a little bit too, so you never know, man. Anybody can't call it.
Can't call it. So in terms of Brothers on Tennis, keep your eyes on Heather Watson, Venus Williams, and Sloane Stephens, and we're hoping that one of the three of them walks away with the title.
That's right. Come on, ladies.
Now, for where the real tennis players are playing this week.
Right there, like out here at the what? I said, what you say?
We have the Qatar Open.
Yes.
And that is in Doha. And this is where you have some semblance of a strong draw. Your top 8 seeds are Ash Barty. Actually, number 2 was Halep, but she withdrew, I think, after she won that title last week.
Right.
Then we have Pliskova, Bencic, Svitolina, Kenin, Burton, and Kvitova. And actually, Sabalenka, who was the number 9 seed, kind of moved into the number 8 seed position on the draw. And I'm telling you what, I just read you that list of top 8, and it is entirely possible that none of those top 8 even make it to the semifinals. Because
very true.
This is the beauty of the women's tour in 2020. There is so much parity on the tour that literally anybody in the top 50 can win any match. I
Hell,
mean,
Contaveit may get up through there and
right.
decide to win. You just never know.
This is what we're seeing, and it's actually what makes it exciting for me.
Right. Agree. Absolutely agree.
But you know, I wanted to kind of give that disclaimer before I gave my predictions for the semifinals, so you kind of know what frame of reference I'm coming from, so y'all don't be like, "Ooh,
What?
what, what he's smoking," you know. But I'm gonna wait, and I'm gonna let Isaac go first. And
Why? See,
and
why you? Cause see, you just ready to start cracking on me. That's all that
no, because you are gonna crack on who I have predicted.
is. So who I have on the top side of the draw, I will, and I just am always going to believe in Ash Barty. I don't see really anybody in there. I mean, there's some folk. I mean, Kenna could do something, but she has to play Muguruza, so I'm still going to go with Barty making it to the semis. And in all honesty, I mean, I know that she kind of had a bit of a rough start. But I'm gonna go with Kvitova. I think Kvitova can actually get up there and make it to the semis. So I think it's gonna be Barty against Kvitova, and on the bottom half of the draw, I'm gonna kind of step out there in a weird way, just because I this is more so maybe me just saying because I want this person to win, but I actually think it's gonna be Anna Samova versus Sabalenka.
Okay.
So those are my picks for the semis.
And then how do you see the finals playing out?
So I would then say it's going to be Ash Barty against Sabalenka. And
And
I think that Sabalenka is going to end up actually taking out Ash Barty for the title.
well, I know Sabalenka is your new Caroline Garcia, but she, but she at least comes through for you at times. So
She does. At times she does. That's true.
yeah.
So
Well,
what you got, bro? What you got in your draw? Because I can't wait to hear this. What you
okay.
got?
All right. So I have in the top half for the semifinals.
Mm-hmm.
I have Rybakina against Jabeur.
Wow.
I think
Okay.
I think right now Rybakina is playing some of the best tennis on the tour. I don't think Ash Barty is a good matchup with Rybakina. I think Rybakina can get her. I think Kenin and Muguruza will potentially have a good match, but I see Rybakina still coming through over either one of them. And Jabeur, I actually have her meeting Kvitova, but I feel like what you said with the variety that she has in her game,
Mm-hmm.
I think she's going to cause Kvitova some problems. And I know and believe me, I'm not saying that this is locked and loaded. I know this is a bit of a stretch, but I'm also picking two of the hottest players on the tour right now.
That's true. Very true. Very true.
Now on the bottom half of the draw,
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you with Anna Samova, so
Okay.
I had her there, but I actually had Kiki Burdens coming through.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay.
that other spot. And to be very honest with you, Isaac, I could have gone with Burton's or I could have gone with Sabalenka. And I just felt like, Burton's was maybe a safer pick for me.
Gotcha.
But in the finals, I expect it to be a Rybakina and a Samova final.
Okay.
And I have Rybakina taking the title.
Wow. So she has made it to your squad. Good Lord.
Yeah. Now, I may be coming talking to you all long face next week.
Right? Talk about that's your Garcia.
but that's who I'm going to go with.
Nice, bro. Hey, man, I can't be mad at you with that pick. That's a legit pick. I mean, because again, you're going with players that are hot. They're playing good ball right now. So why not?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So Isaac, talk to us about the men. That takes us up to speed with the women.
Yeah, yeah. So we had 3 tournaments last week, similar to every other week in February. The men just got a lot of a lot of tournaments going on. So they had Delray Beach, they had Rio, and I believe they had Marseille. Yeah, is that the right way to
Yeah,
say that?
Marseille.
Marseille.
Yeah.
Yeah. And man, I mean, just some really good tennis overall. And I know that, like I said, they're smaller tournaments, so we typically don't talk about them in great detail. But when you look at Delray, I mean, hey man, it's first of all, I was a little disappointed that Nick wasn't able to play or didn't show up or whatever the case may be. So that was disappointing. I don't know what his reasoning was, but again, he pulled out of the draw, so that was disappointing. But it was nice to see Big.
Oh, just
Yeah.
FYI, it says it was his wrist.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, he's in the draw for one of the tournaments this week, so we'll see.
Okay, all right, yeah, we'll have to see what Nick can do. But yeah, I was hoping he'd be at Delray Beach, but that's okay. I mean, Tiafo got him a couple wins, and then unfortunately went down a breadstick and a whole biscuit to Hugo Humbert. He was like, "Am I scared of you?" He was like, "Your game does what? Not impress me." And so, he did his thing, and then unfortunately lost to Nishioka, who I have to say, Bryce, his game has really come around of late. Because Nishioka used to always kind of take that L, and
Right.
he's really been getting some good victories of late. So really, kudos to him. I mean, he's trying to, I guess, take that mantle from Kei Nishikori.
Nishikori.
Since he's, Because,
Because Nishikori been out there talking about he might retire.
I know, right? Crazy. I mean, but when you that injury prone and everything, man, it just weighs on you. And I think for him, he's not that big of a guy anyway. And for him to just try and compete day in and day out with the big guys, it can definitely take its toll. So, yeah, but apparently Nishioka is like, hey, I got your back, son. So I'm gonna go ahead and start getting these W's. And yeah, he put my boy John Millman on the rack and was like, don't get out here, nobody scared of you, fool. Get out of here. Sure. And then on the other side, man, and I think I told you about this. You got Riley Opelka, who made it through the draw and made it through the final. And mind you, okay, so Riley's game may not be the most aesthetically pleasing, and it may not be the most interesting, but I don't know what it is, folks, but I like Riley Opelka. I just think he is country hood. He got that country hood thing going on, and I just like the guy. I like, he's just, I don't know. I like him. I root for him. I want him to win, and thankfully he actually did that. So he was able to, raise the trophy, get them coins, and told Nishioka to go and get out the way, because Delray Beach was his.
Yeah.
And even told Ray Onich, get on out of here, son. This ain't Canada.
Yeah, no, congratulations to Opelka. And I mean, because we have to start getting some better results from our American men.
We do.
Really do. And,
Yeah.
everybody else is playing around. And wait a minute. Speaking of our American men, congratulations to Jack Sock
Come on now.
for getting his first win against Albach
That's right.
in the
That's
first
right.
round.
Yeah,
Now,
man.
now, I was a little mad that he took that breadstick in the next round from Stevie Johnson. I mean, yeah, because I tell you what, in that third set, boy, all of them Twinkies and Ho-Hos started to catch up with Jack Sock. He was clutching his chest, and he was like, no mas, no mas.
No boss, bitch. No boss. Let me go. Let me go.
Woo!
That is funny. But no, you are right, bro. Kudos to Jack Sock for finally getting him a singles victory, because it's been a long time.
It's been a minute.
2018, y'all. Long
It's been
time.
a minute. It has been a
Yeah.
minute. But we want to see him back, and so that glad to see he got that first win under his belt.
Exactly. And then we jump over to Rio, which, it's clay, and there wasn't too many. The only person in there that was like, hey, is Dominique Thiem, and you just really thought, hey, Dominique Thiem's going to get up in here and do the thing. And apparently, I don't even know this person's name, Magger? He's from Italy. He jumped on... He jumped on Dominique Thiem, was like, ain't nobody scared of you, son. I got game on clay, too. and took out the top seed, made it to the finals, but unfortunately went down to Christian Garin, who Christian Garin is having a great season thus far, bro.
And
Two
excellent.
titles.
And I think he's undefeated on clay, right?
That's right. Best record on clay at this point.
Okay, Nadal, better hold on to that French Open.
Right?
You got somebody coming for you.
Oh man!
And let me just, before we get off of this tournament, because we know we're not gonna stay in this one too long.
No.
Not only was I disappointed that Team went out, but I was actually thinking it was going to be a Team Lajovic final.
Yeah.
And my boy Lajovic lost to Sonego in the second round. And now, granted, it was 2 tiebreakers, and I didn't see the match, so I'm not exactly sure what happened. But I'm glad to see him playing back this week coming up. So
absolutely. So kudos to you, Garin, for getting your second tournament of the season. That is incredible.
Yes.
And then Bryce, we had I guess it was a 250 as well, but to me it was a little bit more, I guess there were more names, if you will, in this tournament. So it was a little more attractive to me because you had Medvedev in there, Khachanov was in there, Ajay Aliassim, Benoit Paire, Shapovalov, Hurkacz, Tsitsipas, of course. So they had some pretty good names in the Marseille Open 13. And man, listen, this tournament was crazy. I mean, every time I thought I knew what was going on, I just got flipped. I mean, first of all, let's give a shout out to Gilles Simon for taking out Medvedev and giving that bitch a bagel. He was like, everybody's scared of you.
I couldn't believe that. And
dude.
And I got another question. Who woke up Papasil?
Right? Papasil was like, ain't nobody scared of y'all. He's like, I'm from Canada. You got Felix and Shapovalov all out there getting their shine on. I'm going to get me some shine, too.
Right. Until I meet Tsitsipas.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Better known as the Shine Killer.
The Shine Killer. The Canadian Killer. You might as well call him that. Because he took out Pospisil and got up in the final. And unfortunately, our boy, Felix Auger-Aliassime, who I personally was like, okay, this is a great opportunity for you to go on ahead and get your first title. You've owned Tsitsipas in both the juniors and on the regular ATP Tour. He has a winning record, folks, against Tsitsipas on both juniors as well as in the ATP circuit. But unfortunately, he got up in that final, and Tsitsipas was defending champion, and Tsitsipas was like, bitch, you know, I scared of you in no finals. Because what? You were 0-4, and now I'm going to make you 0-5. And I mean, that's it. And he got up in there. And Bryce, I'm telling you, in my opinion, I don't really feel that Tsitsipas really had to do anything too special. He played contained.
Yep.
He played a very mature match. Mm-hmm. And what he did is he basically, in my eyes, exposed something that I was kind of talking with you about. And I feel that Felix is going to have to really, really look at and work on, because if he doesn't, it's going to really impact his ability to be a slam winner and to reach number one. And that's having a plan B and a plan C and a plan D. Have different plans. Be able to be defensive when you need to be. You can't always just be Mr. Offense. And I compared him to James Blake. Mm-hmm. James, I was a huge fan of James Blake. Loved his tennis, loved his aggressiveness. But I feel that is the reason why James hit a ceiling and never was able to reach a grand slam or really contend with the big folks, is because he didn't know how to play defense. He never had a plan B or a game B, game C, game D. It was always hit the felt off the ball and let's see what happens. And I find Felix plays that very, very similar ball. And when he's not 100% on, to me, he takes these L's. And to me, that championship was an absolute example of that.
Right. Yeah, he just had to keep the ball on the court. Felix, my fear for him is that I don't want these finals he's getting in and not getting the job done to get mental.
Right. Because this is 5.
Yeah, this is 5. And like you said, this was the time he played somebody in the finals that he's kind of owned in his career. Now, granted, CC Pass, he's kind of at a different level a little bit now. So,
oh, for sure.
So it's not a bad loss, but what's going to happen now is people are going to really start taking note of each final because it's a thing now.
Mm-hmm.
It truly is a thing now.
They're going to start calling him Serena. They're going to get excited, be like, ooh, I'm playing Felix Auger-Aliassime in the final. I'm about to get my title. Come on now.
At least Serena's getting to Grand Slam finals.
Right. No, you absolutely. I know, right? That's what we're going to take.
Let's reel that one back in. Disrespecting the queen like that.
I know. I'm sorry, Serena. I'll give my bad, Serena. I ain't gonna put you out there like that again. I'm sorry.
But whatever Patrick told CC Pass to win, he needs to tell Serena.
I know, quietly, right? It's something. They need to go and exchange and do whatever they need to do because CC Pass is doing it. That's one thing for sure.
And you know what? And I think I saw a headline somewhere, and forgive me if I didn't quote it, if I don't quote it correctly, but Patrick was saying something about Serena, and he was saying something's not working. I was like, really? How much money did they pay you to figure that out?
I know, right? Genius.
Right. I could have told you that 2 years ago now. Thanks, Pat.
Yeah, thanks, Pat. Very, very good wisdom there. So anyway, Bryce, that was the tournaments for these this past week, man. So congratulations once again to CC Paz, to Opelka, and to Garin.
Yes.
Getting their coins and getting their titles.
Good job, guys.
Yes, sir. So, Bryce, we have yet another week of 3 tournaments for the men. I mean, just tournaments after tournament after tournament. Lots going on. So, I mean, you want to spend a very short amount of time on the Abierto and the Chile Dove Men's Skincare Open or whatever.
Hey, that is wrong. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do for this tournament. I'm going to jump straight to the champion.
Go on ahead, do it. Go and do it.
I'm going to say, since it's on clay, I'm going to go with the guy who has not lost on clay yet this year, and that would be Garin.
That would be Garin. I mean, he has been playing some ball, so hey, how can you not go for him? I mean, my goodness. Yeah.
And
so there you go.
And good luck with that lifetime supply of Dove.
Exactly. Although Casper Ruud is in the deck, so if I had my choice though, I would give Ruud a title up in there. But anyway, we'll see what happens.
Let me be real clear about something. Garin is not about to take his first loss of the year on clay in a final to somebody named Casper, and it's not happening. It's not happening. I'm just trying to tell you. Not happening.
All right, you heard it here first, folks. Garin will not lose to Casper Ruud.
Not on clay.
Not on clay.
Now maybe on hard court or grass or gravel, but not on clay. And it's red clay too? No.
Yeah, it's red clay.
No.
Yeah.
That's not happening.
There you go. All right, well then let us jump. What do you want to do? Jump over to Dubai or Abierto?
Let's do Abierto.
All righty. So in that one's got some good stuff, folks. So I tell you what, top 8 seeds: Nadal, Zverev, Wawrinka, FAA, Felix Auger-Aliassime, John Isner, Nick Kyrgios, Grigor Dimitrov, and Dusan Lajovic, my boy Bryce's dude.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a good. Hey man, that's a good top 8. That's solid.
It is. And I am so excited to see Lajovic have Stevie Johnson in the first round.
All right, Stevie, open that slide.
Let me be real clear about something. Dusan Lajovic is not losing to Stevie Johnson. That is just not happening. That match comes on tomorrow. I'm going to sit down with my Mountain Dew and popcorn, and it is going to be cracking.
Right. They got some good first rounders though, man. Wawrinka against Tiafo, that's a good one, man. That's pretty good.
Yes.
And you've got Umbera against Kyrgios. I like Ugo Umbera's game. He's a lefty, swings it pretty good, and he's a young guy too, just like Nick. So that actually should be pretty good. Millman against Fritz. Yeah, I got Kyle against Feliciano. Yeah.
Demon against Kekmanovic.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and I like Kecmanovic. I actually like his game a lot. So this is actually gonna be kind of popping, bro.
So what are you thinking about the semis?
Well, you got to put Nadal up there, of course. And I think looking at the other side, I would definitely say, well, you got to say Wawrinka. You have to, even though I don't know how he looks, but still, I mean, I'm thinking Stan should be the clown, though, the other folks, even Dimitrov, of course, in that section. So I'm going to go with Nadal and Stan. And then on the bottom half, I just don't know that clay is actually Kyrgios' surface. And actually, Felix he has some good results on clay, and he's kind of hot.
But this is on hard court.
Oh, this is hard court?
Yes.
You know what? I guess because I saw Acapulco, I was thinking this thing was on clay. What? Okay. All right. So this changes some things for me. Okay. So still would go. Ooh. No, Rafa ain't gonna get upset. He gonna be like, bitch, move. So I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm still gonna stick with Stan and Rafa. I think that Stan will probably have a tough one against Grigor, but he'll take him out. And I think the bottom half is going to be if Nick's wrist is right. It should be Nick against Zverev, which I would love to see because I always love seeing Nick put them things on Zverev. So in the final, I'm just gonna call it and say it's gonna be a Nadal, Nick Kyrgios final.
Okay. And
I'll hold on who's gonna win. I'll let you say who you think is gonna get there, and then we'll talk winners.
Okay. Well, I agree with the top half of the draw with you, Nadal and Wawrinka, and we're off to a good start because Wawrinka got past Tiafoe tonight in a third set tiebreaker.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
So he advanced. That's always a tough match for them because they're good friends and they play and practice a lot with each other. So. It's always a very tight match with them. But anyway, Nadal and Wawrinka up top. Mm-hmm. On the bottom, I'm almost there with you. I agree that Zverev, based upon how he's been looking as of late, I put him in the semis. But I don't put Kyrgios. I actually put FAA.
Really?
Yes. I put FAA. And I actually, in the finals, I have Nadal versus FAA.
Wow. Okay. All right.
And then naturally the pain continues.
0-6?
0-6, baby. I don't want it to be 0-6.
Right.
I'll be voting on FAA, but I ain't gonna be dumb about it.
I know, right? Exactly. I ain't gonna be dumb, folks.
Right.
Yeah. Because in truth, even if I have Nick getting up there with Nadal, I still feel like Nadal has gotten himself, mentally. I think he's like, yeah, I'm ready for Nick. I ain't gonna be scared of his little games no more.
Right.
So I do believe that Nadal will take this trophy for sure. So at least we agree on that point. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it should be good, man. That one looks like it's gonna have some good matches. Like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we've got Dubai, which Djokovic, of course, is leading. And in truth, like I said, even though Dubai is, the 500 just as similar as Abierto, shoot, I watch Abierto before I watch this one. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's got some names. So you top the 8 seeds, you got Djokovic, Tsitsipas, Monfils, Fognini, Batista Agut, Rublev, Kachanov, and Benoit Paire. So definitely a very, very solid top 8 seeds. And they got some great matches coming up as well. For me, without a Federer or a Nadal here, I just think Djokovic runs away with this. And my hope, of course, is that Gael Monfils, if I'm talking semis, I think it'll be Djokovic against Gael Monfils because Gael has been very hot right now.
Yes.
But it hurts my heart. It just hurts my heart because I just think that Novak will once again put that smackdown on Gael.
What does that be? 17-0?
17-0, yeah, which just hurts my heart. But then in the bottom half, I think it'll probably end up being, if I'm looking at who's in that bottom half, I'm gonna give it to I'm gonna say Rublev is gonna get back on track and he'll get to the semis. He'll probably play Tsitsipas, and I actually think Rublev is gonna take Tsitsipas out. So I think it'll be Djokovic against Rublev. And did I say that right? Rublev is going to take
Yeah.
out Tsitsipas. Yeah, so I
Yeah.
think it'll be Djokovic against Rublev, and then I think Djokovic will take the title. What about you?
I have exactly what you have, minus Rublev beating Tsitsipas. I have
Ah,
Tsitsipas beating Rublev, but taking the beat down from Djokovic in the finals.
gotcha. Yeah. I mean, because Djokovic is coming back. He's like, Dubai is the big three, so ain't nobody going to come in and take that
No, not at all.
from us. Get out of
Well,
here.
and speaking of the big three,
Yeah.
that takes us into what our hot topic is for the weekend. I'm sure everyone heard the news because it was big breaking news when it happened that Roger had decided to have arthroscopic surgery on his knee. He said it had been bothering him for a while, but he thought, it would just kind of work its way out. And what that means is he is skipping Dubai, Indian Wells, Miami. It was another tournament, and the French Open. So he is targeting to have a complete recovery and to be back on tour in time for the grass. So what we wanted to talk about today is, what does this mean for Roger Federer, his career, for the rest of the tour, with him being out these next 3 to 4 months?
Yeah, it's first of all, when I heard that news, Bryce, I was gutted
Right.
because I love my Roger Federer. That is my dude. That is my number one. And anytime he is not around the game in tournaments, being active, it's just tennis is just that much. The shine. It has just that loss of shine, if you will.
Right.
And my interest level just drops. I'm going to be honest with you. When he fully retires, it's something I'm gonna have to deal with because, like I said, when he and Serena, those are two people that really, really make me excited and ecstatic about tennis. And when they're no longer competing, it'll definitely be something for me to deal with. So as far as him being out these next 3 months, like I said, it was a gut punch. But getting to your question, what you were saying, Bryce, is what does this mean? I honestly, Bryce, for me, I think it's all going to depend, and this is why I say that. If Roger is able to come back from this arthroscopic knee surgery and be successful, i.e., get on the grass and really be able to play some great tennis, hopefully he can win Wimbledon. But even if he doesn't win Wimbledon, I think he needs a very, very strong run. He needs to be able to get to the semis or to the final. Because if he doesn't, I feel like he will start thinking, why exactly should I stick around? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And so I think Wimbledon and the Olympics are going to be huge as it relates to Roger Federer. Because again, if he goes into those and does well, I honestly think that that's going to extend his career. And I actually think that he'll play into 2021. But if he goes in there and he gets, skull cracked,
Right.
and you never want Roger to get drugged. But if he gets beat in both Wimbledon and the Olympics, I, I honestly believe that he will start considering if 2020 is his last year on tour. That's my own personal thought. How are you looking at this, brother?
Yeah, it's funny because I guess I'm a little bit different. Well, let me start off where I am the same as you. Ro-
Mm-hmm.
Roger Federer and the Williams sisters, they're always the names that I look for in the draw. And if I don't happen to see their names in the draw, that tournament doesn't have quite the level of shine as one that does have them in it. So I was disappointed that he's not going to be at a couple of the big tournaments, and even he's defending champion of um, Miami, right? And
Right.
he was a finalist in Indian Wells, so he had a lot of points there from last year. Even if he had played the French Open, he wouldn't have been in the top three people most expected to win. I mean, I think we know that that would go to Nadal, Team, and to Djokovic. So, not worried about that as much. Even with Wimbledon, the way that they will kind of adjust the men's seedings based upon previous grass court results, I think he can still even get a top four seeding with Wimbledon having missed all that time. Now, hearing that he was going to get the surgery done, believe it or not, Isaac, really made me become very, very optimistic about 2021 because in my mind, I thought, would he go to have this surgery just because he wants to have a good next couple of months? And obviously, the Olympics is very important. I think in his mind, he had that surgery because he thinks he can play at least through 2021.
Okay.
And Roger has a very good history of coming back strong after layoffs.
That he does.
So I look at it this way. I think, like you said, if he comes and he has a strong, showing at some of these events, I think it means 2021 is a truly legitimate season for him on the calendar. I think if he does not, I tell you what, Roger Federer, he already knows that in terms of being the GOAT and all that, he's not going to be that person at the end of the day when it comes to total major titles. So you better believe he going to get all his glory before he get up out of here. And so if he does not have a great return, I think we will hear an announcement from Roger Federer that 2021 will be his last year. He's going to give everybody notice so that for a full year, he can go to every tournament he wants and be adorned by the fans, the Roger crew. He gonna get that. He's not gonna be one of these players like, oh, I retired, I'm just out. Nope. He wants to get his flowers and his chocolates and everything.
His Swiss chocolates.
He won it all. So I think one way or the other, we're going to see Roger Federer at least through the 2021 season. And when I say through the 2021 season, I mean at least through the U.S. Open.
Okay. All right. Nothing wrong with that, brother. Yeah.
And I think in terms of him competing, rankings truly, I mean, he said this for a while that they really don't mean anything to him. I really, really don't think they mean anything to him now. I think if there is some way that if he can get this gold medal in the Olympics for singles, that would be his number one priority. If he can't do anything else, he would want that. And then closely following that, any majors he can pick up on this way out. He's going to try to snag. And I just think that the Australian, Wimbledon, and the U.S. Open, he's always going to be a contender at those for at least, this year, next year.
Right. Have they announced what the surface will be at the Olympics?
I have not heard that. My assumption is with it being in Japan, it's going to be on hard.
Yeah, gotcha. Yep.
So,
okay. Just figured I'd inquire.
Right. Yeah. No. That's my assumption because they're going to pick the surface that best suits their players, and really they have to look at Osaka.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yep, that's true.
And
very true.
And Osaka would give some serious side eye if they came talking about some clay or some grass.
That's a very good point.
Her eye may get stuck in that position. I mean, so I think it's clearly going to be hardcore.
Yeah, I think you're right. That would be tight if your eye gets stuck inside.
But she would have that much intent on how she threw it. I'm telling you. No, so it is on hard. Even though I have not seen it in print, for that very reason, I guarantee you it is on hard court.
I like that. Just get stuck.
Oh, we have just lost it. I'm sorry, listening audience.
Ooh, that's funny.
we obviously have a case of the giggles tonight. So anyway, those are our thoughts about Roger Federer. If you feel any differently or you have some additional insight for us, please go out to our website, www.brothersontennnis.com, and that's BRUTHAS on tennis.com. Also, you can drop us a message on social media, whether it's through Twitter or Instagram or Facebook. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this subject.
Yes, we would, folks. Don't be giving us no side eye.
Oh, you are insane. I think.
Oh my God, I can just see Naomi Osaka with that side eye just stuck. I can't stop.
Well, I'm glad I gave you such a visual on that.
Ooh, that's good, bro. That was a good one.
So anyway, well, we're gonna sign off because obviously we can't keep it together tonight. But we want you guys to go out there and watch all this good tennis that's coming up, and check us out on all of our social media platforms. So with that, this is your boy Bryce.
And this is your boy Isaac.
And we are Brothers on Tennis, and you guys have a great one. Talk to you next week.